This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Dunedin's student community is still in shock following the death of a 19-year-old student. A Whanganui-based artist has painted the 50th mural on walls around Dunedin. And a Wellington musician is undertaking a different type of New Zealand tour. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Daryl Baser. Dunedin's student community is still in shock following the death of a 19-year-old student over the weekend. Second-year student Sophia Cristani died as partygoers hurried out of a Dundas Street flat on Saturday night.
Police are still trying to piece together exactly what happened at a Saturday night party at Dunedin student flat The Manor, understood to have been attended by several hundred people.
In attempts to leave, a number of people have been injured, two seriously, and sadly one woman who passed away from her injuries. Police's role now is to help determine exactly what occurred.
The student who died was Sophia Cristani, who grew up in Wellington and was in her second year of study in Dunedin. The Otago University Students Association is offering support for all students impacted by the tragedy.
We're here to support our students. This is obviously a deeply shocking situation for our student community. Any students needing support today, we encourage them to reach out to Campus Watch, and going forward reaching out to OUSA Student Support and Student Health. We're working alongside the University and Police to primarily support the friends and family of those involved.
Inspector Gray says two other people sustained injuries at the party, and partygoers' efforts to help the woman were fantastic, and the police didn't meet any resistance at the scene. He says police told Sophia Cristani's parents of her death yesterday morning.
It's the news no parent wants to hear. They live outside of Dunedin. They've been told of their daughter's death this morning. They've been offered support by police, the University of Otago, and victim support.
He told media it's too early to call the death an accident, and also too early to speculate whether charges will be laid. University of Otago Vice-Chancellor Harleen Hayne says residents at the Manor are being helped to find other lodgings.
The residents of the Dundas Street property, I think, have decided to relocate, so the university is working with them right now to find them alternative accommodation.
The University of Otago says it will consider wider concerns relating to student behaviour in the city following the young woman's death. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Children in the Catherine's town of Kaka Point got a chance to fly kites during the first week of the school holidays. The Fly a Kite Day was organised by the Kiwi Conservation Club, which is a child-orientated offshoot of Forest and Bird. The day attracted enthusiastic kite flyers for as far away as Gore. But it was more than just a fun activity, with the children learning all about different kinds of animals which have wings, those that can fly and those that can't. Organisers say the idea was to encourage the children to enjoy the outdoors, as they may be more likely to protect it in the future. A wall in Dunedin's Bond Street is now graced by a new mural, adding to the more than 50 pieces of street art around the city. Sunday saw Whanganui-based artist Simon Omerod finish his painting depicting sea creatures taken out of their natural environment. The artwork is part of a worldwide program of murals about man's destruction of the oceans, a message he likes to subtly include in his art.
It's never always been at the forefront of my what I do in my art, but it's just something that I've kind of grown into, and which is I love doing. It's not a part of every work that I do, but it just so happens that the one in Dunedin has a little message, you know. I was invited to be a part of the Seawalls project. It's probably about 4 years ago now, the first one that they did in New Zealand. So I think it was like 20 artists from around the world. We all came together to paint murals for the ocean. You know, like raising awareness about what's going on in the oceans, ocean acidification, plastic pollution. You know, lots of different problems that are going on with the ocean. the owner of the building really loved what we do with the seawalls, protect what you love. So they kind of came up with their own little thing. We're all in this together, meaning, like it's kind of our duty to start taking control and looking after of what we actually do, because this used to be the foreshore here, and now it's occupied by humans, instead of fish. So my work always has that kind of playful cartoon kind of vibe, like, and narrative-wise, always like there's always a little narrative in there, but it can quite often be like quite loose, which I like. I don't really want to be kind of in people's faces, and so yeah, it's basically like these little characters are holding these little bowls of water, and they're taking them away. So it's like almost, we've removed the water from this position, and there's that little jellyfish being taken away by balloons. It's really I don't know, like tongue-in-cheek, but it's like a really kind of playful way of looking at it. But at the same time, it's still a serious matter, but it's a good way as well, connecting with younger people, and that's where it kind of counts at the moment. Like teaching young people about what's going on in the world. They're the ones who's going to change.
Sales of new electric cars hit a record high last month. Just over 600 electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids were sold in September, putting them in the top 3 passenger models sold. A spokesman for the Motor Trading Association says recent sales figures show consumer attitudes appear to have reached a turning point. Newer electric cars are able to travel further between charges than the older models, and the network of charging stations continues to grow. However, last month's sales figures were significantly slanted by the arrival of over 300 pre-ordered Teslas, contributing to over half of the total number of EVs sold last month. While the new Teslas sold for around $100,000 each, other models such as Hyundai, Kia and Nissan sell at around $20,000 per new vehicle. A Wellington musician is undertaking a tour of New Zealand with a bit of a difference. Primary teacher Gillian Henderwood was in Dunedin last week to play a song at the Dunedin Botanic Garden as part of her quest to perform on 50 band rotundas in a year. Many people set themselves goals ahead of significant milestones. For Wellington-based primary school teacher and musician Gillian Henderwood, it's playing music on 50 band rotundas before she turns 50.
So, leading up to my 50th birthday, friends were saying, what do you want to do for your birthday? And in the middle of the night one night, I suddenly realised what it was I wanted to do, which was to play on 50 band rotundas around New Zealand. And I was so excited I couldn't sleep.
Despite her obvious excitement, she chose to keep the idea to herself, which she says was tough, but she was scared someone more famous might do it first.
Dave Dobbin or someone's going to get hold of it and do it before me. So I sort of knew for 6 months before my birthday that this is what I wanted to do.
She's been travelling during school holiday periods to reach the goal and returns to Wellington this week. At times she's living on a prayer, but says she's halfway there.
I have now done 25. I've just been up in Rotorua, where in the government gardens there. And so yeah, I'm halfway.
As she's completed around half of her rotunda tour of duty, Henderwood is a good judge of what makes a good rotunda, and says Dunedin's stacks up well.
Well, this is pretty grand. This is, it probably fits the American term, which is bandstand, a little bit better because of its rectangular shape. But my professor friend tells me this is definitely fits the definition of a rotunda.
She's had a couple of disappointments along the way in Cromwell and Ashburton. She was led to believe both towns had rotunda, but in terms of Cromwell it was a case of rotunda down under, while Ashburton's was pulled down 20 years ago. In Dunedin, The South Today. Still to come on The South Today, we visit Hoamaru for an art event on bikes. And we have another instalment of Chris Morris's chats with departing Mayor Dave Kell. The topic this time is the stadium. Stay tuned.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
No mai no, welcome back. Bird-themed masks and decorative wings were worn by children taking part in a fun ride on the Alps to Ocean cycle trail yesterday. Children were encouraged to make their own decorations at Western for the Art on Bikes event, one of several held as part of the Waitaki Art Festival's opening weekend. The event was run as part of Oamaru Public Gallery's school holiday program. A Forrester Gallery curator says the bird theme, including yellow-eyed penguins, black stilt, kea and shags, was a hit with the youngsters. With a focus on sustainability, streamers were made out of scarves and flowers were used instead of balloons. Those who took part cycled from Western to the Oamaru Farmers Market. As part of our series of interviews with Dunedin's outgoing Mayor, Otago Daily Times senior reporter Chris Morris talks to Dave Cull about the controversy behind Dunedin's Forsyth Bar Stadium. The three-term Mayor says disagreements over the cost of the stadium on ratepayers seriously eroded confidence in the City Council.
The stadium debate, I think one of the really sad things about it is how it divided the community and completely destroyed trust in council. And I guess what I'm proud of as a mayor of my time, I think that I've helped to rebuild trust in council and transparency in council, but it absolutely wrecked it. And the relationships, you know, as a result of having to disband DCHL as a board and put in a temporary board and get reviews done, it got a bit toxic.
The criticism that's kind of stuck with you is this idea that you argued against the stadium and then voted for it.
I didn't vote for it.
I know, but it never seemed to go away. What is that?
I don't know. People like to misrepresent what you do, but I was consistent in my opposition to it. I think there was one vote in council very early on where I voted to continue the next stage of exploration or something like that, but it wasn't a vote for the stadium.
Is it a symptom of that kind of toxicity around the whole debate, that it just kind of poisons the public debate? And
I don't know whether it's the same in every community, but there's a very vocal and toxic cohort of critics in Dunedin. They express themselves on various websites, etc., and I've never gone there, and since I don't use Facebook, I'm mercifully kept away from that as well. But the truth doesn't matter, and in fact, it's almost as if they take a delight in malice and harm and hurt. So I just don't take notice of them. I don't hear it.
And tomorrow we'll bring you the final instalment of our interview with Mayor Cull, where he explains why he's chosen to step down. After the break on the South Today, a group of southern netballers play for 12 hours straight to fundraise for one of their own, and we have a look at the weather for the start of the week.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Miller's Flat Bakery, proudly opening this Labour weekend after a long labour of love. The Restoration Trust has brought back to life this historic part of the main Central Otago transport route. Come see the only wood-fired bakery oven in New Zealand. Turn off at the Miller's Flat Blue Bridge and bring the whole family to enjoy some tasty fresh baked goods the old-fashioned way, before electricity. That's the Miller's Flat Bakery opening Labour weekend.
Thanks for staying with us. Hundreds of Southerners or Southlanders rallied together for a 12-hour netball-a-thon at ILT Stadium Southland at the weekend. The marathon series of games is a fundraiser for a promising young netballer who's recovering from surgery for idiopathic scoliosis. Many teams playing hours of continuous netball matches to raise funds for an up-and-coming player who's facing major trials at a young age.
We're supporting a Southland family from Bluff, Danae Lowe McPherson. So she's in our Girls by 8A netball team. She's been playing year 7s, year 8s come through and has been diagnosed with severe scoliosis. So she's over in Barcelona at the moment recovering from her operation.
The teams are taking part in a non-stop rally from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to raise money for 13-year-old Danae Lowe McPherson. The PSA Danae's family are watching the event from overseas.
We've had several messages from the family today. They've been live streaming us and she's doing really well. She's doing amazing recovery.
The Bluff-based youngster is in Spain as she recovers from a life-altering operation for idiopathic scoliosis. The condition is characterised by abnormal curvature of the spine. Organisers say locals came out to support the cause.
It's been so well supported. We've been so lucky. It's been easy getting teams. Everyone's coming to support the public court. The corporates have been amazing.
Yeah. There's been so much banter. It's been amazing fun.
So much fun.
Danae's condition was too severe to be treated in New Zealand, and the family's search for specialist care took them to Spain and $86,000 life-changing surgery. Even some netball stars came out to play at the weekend's event, including the Southern Steel's Kendall McMinn.
So because it is a community event is really big for me, and especially because she's young and she plays netball, so I like to get out here and support, and especially because it's in the community.
Organisers say ILT Stadium Southland didn't charge them for the courts, and they're grateful to many other sponsors, including Netball South, Invercargill Young Professionals and Made to Move. In Invercargill, the South Today. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Sophia Cristani has been named as the 19-year-old University of Otago student who died at a party over the weekend. A Whanganui-based artist has painted the 50th mural on walls around Dunedin, adding to the city's colourful cityscape. And a Wellington musician is undertaking a different type of New Zealand tour as she attempts to play on 50 Band Rotunda for the end of her 50th year. Time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Welcome, Mr. Hayden Meikle.
Good evening, Darryl. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Very good. Let's start with a photo, which is nice tonight. This is Kate Wilson. A lot of people will know Kate, Dunedin City Councillor, obviously. She decided to bike to her last meeting on the council this week. Just 116 kilometres from Middlemarch to Dunedin. So something slightly unusual, and we captured the shot halfway with some woolly friends keeping an eye on her. So a good yarn with Kate, something a little bit quirky to lighten up, I guess, the mood this week as we look at the very, very serious issue of local body elections. So.
It's an epic ride. So how long did it take you? 116k?
Well, hopefully we'll find out in tomorrow's story, Darryl. I'm not sure. It would take me about 17 weeks. So I'm presuming Kate's probably not quite as long. I think she mentioned she might hopefully have the wind behind her and she'd sail on home. So a lovely pick. Elsewhere, obviously, we've got more on the tragic death of the young student. Sophia Cristani has been named from Wellington. We've got some more details of what happened. We talked to another eyewitness. The university obviously speaking quite strongly today about the support that it's offering the youngsters. There'll be a lot of very traumatised young people in our city, and the support it is offering the families. So more on this very, very sad issue.
Yeah.
We also talked to the man who ran out of his house with a fire extinguisher on Sunday night in Dunedin to put out a fire that was threatening to consume a burning car. He's been labelled a hero by Fire and Emergency New Zealand and by his own wife, and I think few would disagree. So it's an interesting chat about Joe Bloggs, I guess, Les Cardi, I think the man's name is, but he didn't think twice. He ran out there and who knows what he might have prevented. So that's a good yarn too.
Good bloke.
And in sport, this sounds like sacrilege, but we have a story tomorrow asking if Ben Smith has played his last game for the All Blacks. I certainly hope the answer is no. I hope he has a huge role to play as the All Blacks win a third straight World Cup. But as Steve Hepburn having a look at the realistic options for our Ben to see what role he will be playing as the tournament finally gets towards a crunch stage. So fingers crossed Ben Smith pops up for the winning try in the final. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I take it you have money on that?
No, I'm not a betting man, but the romantic in me would love to see the man I consider the greatest Otago rugby player of all time go out and on a real high before he heads off overseas. So fingers crossed.
Excellent. All that and more.
All that and more. Thanks, Daryl.
Thanks, Hayden. Appreciate that. Time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with this evening's City View, a piece of street art in central Dunedin. Looking at the situation, a rather unsettled week ahead, with low pressure systems in the Tasman Sea bringing some rain most days. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect grey skies and showers with 15 degrees. Heading across to the northeast, where Nelson and Blenheim are also due for grey skies, but with 19 degrees. Heading down to Canterbury, expect cloudy skies at times across this area. Kaikoura should reach 18, Christchurch and Ashburton, you're due for 20 degrees. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, you can all expect light southwesterlies and becoming fine. The Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all due to reach 14 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes, you can plan for variable winds with showers clearing. Queenstown and Wanaka aim for 14 degrees. Alexandra, you're heading for 15, and Te Anau, you're set for moderate southwesterlies, a few showers and 13 degrees. Up to the northern towns, Timaru and Romaru can look forward to variable winds, cloudy skies, Timaru 19 and Oamaru 18. It should be a bit wetter inland with Twizel and Omarama, looking at moderate northwesterlies and showers with 15 degrees. In Dunedin, mild with high cloud and northerly winds tonight with an overnight low of 11 degrees. Some rain at first tomorrow, clearing during the morning. Planned for a high of 16 and a low of 9. Cloudy periods with some rain on Wednesday with light southerly winds, looking at a high of 10 and a low of 8. And in Invercargill, some rain tonight with southwesterlies developing and an overnight low of 9. Showers clearing tomorrow with sunny periods increasing during the day and light variable winds, a high of 13 and a low of 8. Cloudy on Wednesday with some outbreaks of light rain at times and light southeasterly winds, a high of 11 and a low of 8. And that's all from the South Today team for this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow. Ta kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.